Hello, welcome to today's reading. So today we have a pick a card reading with the theme Will we reconcile? Is reconciliation possible? Is it in the cards? Is it in our near future? We are going to check the current energy between you. We will also check their feelings towards you. What else we can know about this relationship, this connection, and likely outcome. There is also a small message in the end as a advice, let's say. I hope above all that this brings you clarity. I hope you remember that what matters most is your own evolution and what you can learn from the situation, whatever the cards will say about the outcome. And yeah, take a moment, take what resonates, leave the rest behind, you know the drill. And if you enjoy this video, let me know in the comments. That's always lovely, I love it. And yeah, I'll see you in your pile. Bye bye. Hey, welcome to your reading. So if you chose pile number 1, this is your reading to check if you will reconcile in this year. Hey, welcome. So if you chose pile number 1, this is your reading. We are going to check if you will reconcile. What does the energy say at this moment? So let's start by checking what's the current energy between you. What's emotionally happening? The current energy between those who chose file number 1 and the person on their mind. Okay, no more cards from this deck. We have the card Muse, inspired by you listening to music, emotional bond, song, lyrics. Okay, so seems like someone is a bit in love. Let's use tarot as well to check the current energy between you. So maybe they're thinking about you, maybe you can feel their energy pulling on you. We have the Six of Cups, so maybe there's a specific soul connection here from past lives even. There's a Ten of Wands reversed, and there's the Eight of Cups reversed. Okay, so far what we can see on the energy between you is that the connection is still very much alive, energetically at least. And this person, they do continue to feel inspired or affected by you, even if there is distance or silence, right? It's like you have not been forgotten. There's this sense that you have awakened something meaningful in them. There's an emotional imprint, right? There's also nostalgia and emotional memories, very much emotional based. They are thinking about the good moments, the comfort, the emotional safety that you shared. There is like warmth and tenderness in the connection, right? It isn't a cold energy. But there's also this release, this desire to release emotional burdens. It shows that someone, because this is the energy of the connection, so can be either of you, is tired of carrying the emotional weight and wants things to feel lighter, right? Maybe there's guilt or pressure or exhaustion involved in this connection, and there's a genuine wish to lay that down, basically, to want relief, to wish for peace, to wanting to stop overthinking or struggling. And then what we see is not indifference, but it's emotional withdrawal, right? Walking away in order to protect oneself emotionally. It does not mean that feelings are gone. It just means that it feels too heavy right now to deal with. It also feels unfulfilling. But it's still a cups card. So there is still the emotional attachment, right? But there's also the need for space and the search for clarity that is speaking volumes at the moment. Let's see, when it comes to their feelings towards you, which cards do we get? Their feelings towards you, what can you show us? Okay, so the fourth chakra is the heart chakra, and it has this green light that we see here. So it shows us that love is still very much real and heartfelt, that again the emotional connection hasn't closed. There's a desire for healing, for peace, for emotional balance, right? Archangel Raphael, it brings this healing energy, which shows that they may want to heal whatever happened, or that they are still healing because of this connection as well. Sometimes certain connections, they come into our lives just so that we can free ourselves and heal ourselves. But there is compassion here, not resentment. Okay, let's check as well the tarot. Their feelings towards you. Something else. We have Page of Swords reversed, the Seven of Coins, the Solar Eclipse card with big changes are coming and deep emotional cleanse, and we have the Queen of Swords upright. Okay, and this eclipse came on top of, it came out like this, which has a certain significance. So we had first this healing energy, right? And then we got, which shows that they are in a healing moment. And then we got the Queen of Swords, which shows that they are managing those feelings. They are trying to stay emotionally controlled, thinking more than feeling outwardly. They are setting these boundaries to protect themselves. It's the emotional space needed that we saw in order to go inwards. But they are also choosing logic over vulnerability. Even if the heart is involved, they are mentally guarding it, basically. So they might appear distant or cold or very rational, but it's actually a form of self-protection, basically. And then this card came out and it was cut by the lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse, it brings major emotional shifts, truths coming to the surface, endings and emotional purging, basically, things that can no longer be avoided. So if we have such a card crossing the Queen of Swords, it shows how their emotional control is being challenged, right? How these deep feelings are surfacing, whether they want to face them or not. It's like this mental wall is being pressured by emotional truth. And I think that there are big emotional changes happening for them internally, and that they have to go through that process. And perhaps it's best, this is just a recommendation, a suggestion, is best if you don't interfere, because they have to go through that challenging moment, basically, so that the shift can actually take place. And then we had the Seven of Coins, which is the Seven of Pentacles, cutting this energy. And this card brings pause, reflection, waiting. So I think that they are reassessing the connection. They are looking at what has been invested. They are showing patience as well, right? They are not just jumping in or out. They are really pausing, right? There's no rush. There's this slow, deliberate energy asking oneself, is this worth continuing? And this is not giving up. This is really a evaluation moment. They are taking time to reflect and to decide what direction feels right rather than acting impulsive, right? It's the coming to fruition of this whole emotional process that they are going through. And the Page of Swords reverse is actually just explaining their current behavior. Perhaps communication is blocked or delayed or hesitant. Perhaps they want to speak up, but they don't know how to. Perhaps there's this fear of saying the wrong thing. There's this avoidance of difficult conversations, and this does not represent lack of interest. It represents mental confusion, basically. So the feelings towards you, they are still heart-based, they are genuine, they are pure, but there's this whole mental part that is somehow blocking them, and that they have to work through and to heal through in order to be able to transform, basically. Let's check what else. If there is something standing in the way, there's something we can know about this connection. Anything else? Anything else? Anything else? Here we have distance, time out, retreat, blocked, emotional or physical distance. We have until death tear us apart, restrictions, adversity, structure, learning karmic lessons, maturity, Saturn. We have cold control, silent, observing, hiding feelings, secretive, blocking emotions, mask. We have guarded, vulnerable, holding patterns, security at all costs, blocked, heart chakra. And I put it right on top of the heart chakra. So there you go. And we have external party situations, karmic partner, friends, family, work, other people, obligations. So overall, the energy shows that this connection is influenced by external factors, right? And they do carry this karmic energy, which it only comes in our life to help us grow as well, right? As with all the connotations that it has, the purpose is still to help us evolve. And there is emotional vulnerability, but it's heavily guarded, as we saw, right? This message is just showing echoing the Queen of Swords message. And this person is choosing control, observation, and distance while this deep inner processing is happening. And Saturn shows this is a serious lesson-based connection, meaning it's a long-term lesson. It's this current phase, it does require time, structure, space, discipline, right? Rather than immediate action. This is not like a light or casual energy, right? This is the timing is restricted, and growth is happening internally, not externally, and that has to be respected, right? Each person has their own timing. And it seems like reconciliation will depend a lot on maturity, on boundaries, on emotional responsibility. And for now, this space is also part of the lesson for both, right? Because there's always a lesson both ways, basically. Let's see now what we can know towards a yes or no, let's say, if reconciliation is in the near future, and then we also get you a message. So for if reconciliation is in the near future, we have number 36 with patience, And let's check tarot. Is this reconciliation in the near future? We have the Nine of Swords. Anything else? You want to come out which way? Okay, we have Patience, Three of Wands, Nine of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. Okay. So when we look at the near future, the cards are showing anxiety, indecision, a need for balance. There is potential ahead, right? There is. But the timing isn't aligned yet, not in this moment. The lesson is still being learned, right? And the situation is really asking for patience rather than immediate reconciliation. A proper decision has not yet been made, and waiting is purposeful, right? Not pointless, not frustrating, but it serves a purpose. And it's also in itself a lesson to be patient, but not to be patient just to stay at home waiting for this person to do their part, but also in choosing to go out, to live our lives, to live fulfilled lives. And eventually this person will also catch us up at our own higher vibration if they are meant to, if they do their part as well. So this mental stress over the connection, it also needs to settle. That's also an important part of it. Let's get you some advice cards, see what comes out. Some advice cards for those who chose this pile. For those who chose pile number 1. Wanna come out? We have vitality. I am a being of light. I accept the divine energy in my body, and every one of my cells regenerates. Anything else from this deck? Here and now, the future does not exist and the past is gone. I focus on the present moment. I have confidence in life again because here, now, there is no danger. Everything happens when my soul is ready. And we have breakthrough. Don't let anything stop you from moving forward. Pursue your dreams. And this is actually so important. As I was saying, don't stay in standby waiting for this person, right? They have to do their part. They have to learn their lesson, and they are going through it right now. So focus on yours, focus on your life, on what you want to build. And when they are ready, they will meet you if it still makes sense for both of you, right? So yeah, pile number 1, this was your reading. I hope it brought you some comfort. I hope it was able to help you evolve as well. And I wish you such a lovely day ahead. Lots of love and light. Bye-bye. Hey, welcome. So if you chose pile number 2, this will be your reading, all about if there's a possibility for reconciliation. And we are going to start by checking the current energy between you. So take what resonates, leave the rest behind. If it's not your pile, feel free to choose another one. Current energy between those who chose pile number 2 and that person. A lot of cards. Which card do you want? Okay. Okay, we have ego. Anything else from here? Are we good? We good? Very good. Okay. So we have ego with arrogance, having too much pride, being stubborn, holding back. And let's check as well tarot. current energy between them. So far we have the Queen of Swords reversed, Three of Pentacles. Okay, anything else? Anything else? Okay, all good. And we have the Four of Swords reversed and the Hanged Man. So with the Ego card being the first and the only one from the deck to come out, it shows that this energy between you is ego driven, right? And can be you, can be them, can be both. I mean, it's something that most humanity deals with and struggles with, okay? No shaming at all. But someone is protecting their pride, and the feelings are being suppressed to avoid vulnerability. There's resistance to admitting fault or to just be soft and open. And so communication ends up being filtered through defensiveness, right? It's about control through emotional distance, let's say. But with the Three of Pentacles, there is still a desire to make something work. But it's a tainted desire in the sense that to make something work only if it's on their terms. And there's this awareness that effort and cooperation are needed, but yet this collaboration, this building together, feels blocked by ego, by power dynamics, right? So the card shows potential but not follow through, let's say. And the Queen of Swords reverse is exactly where we see that miscommunication, that emotional coldness, on how words may be sharp or withheld, right? Maybe there's this passive aggressive energy where truths are avoided or slightly twisted. Maybe one person is emotionally unavailable. Clearly, bottom line means feelings are not being expressed kindly or clearly even. And so this is also connected with our ego theme. Then we have the Hanged Man reversed, which shows a strong resistance, right? The refusal to see the other person's perspective, the avoiding self-reflection, wanting movement without the inner change, wanting the prize without going through the effort. It shows stuck energy, and this stuck energy is caused by being stubborn. It's like, I'm not willing to change, but I still want the situation to change, right? Because we do have a Three of Pentacles. It's like, I want to collaborate, but I decide the rules of the game. And that's not fair. That's ego, right? Not accounting for the other person's feelings and views and values. And then we have the Four of Swords reversed, which speaks about unresolved tension, meaning no real healing has happened. The pause is uncomfortable. We are not in a good situation, but we are also not putting in the work to go forward. We are not igniting the momentum. There's this mental agitation instead of clarity, right? The thoughts that are spinning around but no resolution. It speaks about avoidance, basically. So if this energy resonated with your situation, let's check now their feelings for you. See what feelings their feelings for those who chose pile number 2. We have number 7, community, and we'll check as well with tarot. Their feelings for those who chose pile number 2. Anything else? Page of Wands, the Star, again with the hope for change, but waiting for results. Okay. Yeah, but not integrating the lesson. Okay. So the way I see this community card, it has nothing to me, has nothing to do with third parties, not that the spirit of it. The spirit of it is to show how at the heart of their feelings there is this sense of connection, there is this sense of belonging, of shared space. They don't see you just as anyone, they see you as part of their emotional or soul circle, right? They feel that there is a bond, and they might think of you as someone who belongs in their life in some way. It's like a warm card, right? It's not overly intimate, okay, but it's about connection, at least, even if it's not explicitly a passionate connection. It's still about connection, it's still about bond. And then we have the Page of Wands, which is very much about desire, curiosity, wanting to explore, the feeling of what if, but it's immature energy, right? It's impulsive, it's unsure how to act, it's excited, but it's not consistent. So the feelings, they do exist, the spark is there, they feel there is a connection, there is a bond, but it's not grounded, right? And the star, it shows hope. It also shows healing, which is very much important for whoever I'm reading for this connection. It shows as well faith in the connection. It shows a belief that something good could still come from this. So even if they are distant, if you are in no contact, they haven't lost hope entirely. They still see potential here, right? Even if they don't know what to do with the potential that they see and that they feel above all. And then we have the Seven of Pentacles, right? And this is a card that shows patience, evaluation. So they are waiting, they are observing how things unfold. They are not rushing into anything, reflecting on whether it's worth investing any further. It's like a pause and assess feeling. But perhaps they have stayed so long in this pause and assess, it has become a Four of Swords reverse, right? Stagnation. And then we have the Temperance reversed, and this is like a mirror for what we've been saying. Shows that it shows this inner imbalance, it shows emotional extremes, difficulty blending head and heart, wanting connection but not knowing how to maintain the harmony of it. It's like they feel off-center about you. And this has to do with the ego issues, because there's not enough space for the ego and an authentic connection to coexist. It's hard even to speak during your reading. I think they really struggle with it. And there's this resistance to change, this resistance to integrate the lesson, this emotionally inconsistency that's tainting the whole connection. Basically, it is not about lack of feelings, but it's about lack of emotional integration and awareness. So overall, what I can tell is that the connection is still felt, their hope is still present, there is interest, but it's not enough to put in the work, basically. And then emotional imbalance blocks action, right? This is someone who feels but doesn't know how to move forward in a healthy way, basically. So let's check now what the cards can tell us for a bit of before that, let's check what else we can know about this connection. Let's see what comes out. What else can we know about this connection? What else could be told? So I said that the community card was not a very passionate card. So to be clear, we now have attract, attractive, passion, mutual feelings, feeling drawn to someone. So there you go. What else can you tell us about this connection? But I think they wanted to really focus on the bonds that they feel. That's why the community card came out, just to clarify. What else can we know about this connection? Okay, what else can we know about this connection? Anything else? We have two cards that say guarded. Anything else? Okay, all good. We have guarded, vulnerable, holding patterns, security at all costs, blocked heart chakra. We have closed off, guarded, resistance, pride, defensive, wounded warrior. And we have inner child healing, wounding, coping mechanisms, learned behaviors, self-discovery. So as I was mentioning, the connection, there is attraction there, right? They were quite clear about it now. So the connection hasn't gone flat. The pull is still there, even if it's not being acted on, right? But there's what is important to not over focus on this card is to understand that attraction and being ready and being available and being emotional open are two different things, right? Because this attraction, it exists alongside fear and resistance. And then we have this deep push-pull dynamic, like vulnerability exists beneath the surface, but it's being protected and hidden. And so the connection becomes stuck in a loop with no progress, with no release. There is emotional sensitivity here, but it's being carefully guarded, right? Then we have this closed off card, which speaks about the same themes, but a layer deeper. There's this emotional armor that is up, this pride that is acting as a shield. Also, together with the ego, right? This defensive response that is already automatic. And what we can understand then is how past wounds have taught them to fight rather than to be soft. And this wounded warrior, energy, it explains the coldness and the control that we saw earlier on the cards. This having to be my game, but in my rules, and this resistance to be flexible, basically. This is not about, oh, they are being cruel or something. It's not that at all. It's protection that is learned through pain of whatever happened in their previous life. But you also can't be held responsible for it, right? They have to grow in order to um, to 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 transform. And then we have the inner child card, and this shows that this is the root of the whole connection, these old emotional wounds that are being triggered, these patterns that are learned, they are not innate, right? And so this connection activates these childhood defenses, and there is potential for deep healing, but only through awareness. What this card to me confirms is that the block is not the connection, it's unhealed inner patterns, basically. Okay, let's see now in a very clear way if there is a possibility for reconnection in the near future. Yeah, so we have number 22 with wisdom. And let's get the tarot as well. Connection in the near future, reconciliation in the near future, is it possible? Is it possible, reconciliation in the near future? Anything else? All good? So we have the Lovers reversed, the Page of Pentacles, and the Ace of Swords reversed. So the Wisdom card is asking to act with awareness, not impulse. Learn from what already happened. Emotional maturity is required for this to work. This is a careful, conscious energy. And then we start with the Lovers reversed, which is actually the main block. It shows misalignment, it shows emotional disconnection, a choice that hasn't been made yet, love existing but not in harmony. So right now it feels like the connection is out of sync, and therefore it points to a not yet for emotional reunion, for reconciliation. But there is this positive, even if small, sign, which is the willingness to start fresh, the practical and grounded approach, the curiosity about rebuilding slowly. There's not a grand gesture associated to it, but it shows potential at a very early stage, right? And then the Ace of Swords, it shows this energy of clarity and truth. However, it is reversed, right? So it shows that in the near future, communication is still not in the best shape. So clarity is still blocked, misunderstandings or miscommunication, it is still likely, because if someone is so deeply rooted in their own ego, they can't even see that they are acting from ego. It's like you have to step out of the island to see the island, right? Otherwise you might believe that you are just on land on a continent. So truth might be delayed or avoided, or if you have some conversation, it might be tense or confusing. And it shows overall, all the cards together, that even if there's this small potential, even if love is there, in the near future is not, it's not very likely that there will be a reconciliation, because any potential connection or reconciliation point will face confusion, will face blocked clarity, will be met with these defense mechanisms. So it's not likely in the future, because emotional alignment is off, communication is kind of blocked, actions, they are just tentative. And so reflection and patience, they really are required. However, it's true, long-term potential still exists if clarity and personal growth occur, basically. Let me get you a message, two messages actually, for you because it's important to keep our own evolution without staying stuck to someone else, because we don't know if they will decide what they will decide, right? So it's important to continue our path. Let's see. Okay. And we have left behind. You don't need to follow in the footsteps of others. Create your own destiny, which is exactly what I was talking about, right? The importance of creating your own destiny, not waiting for somebody else. The right person will meet you at the right moment. A new opening. When one door closes, I am confident another will open, and it will be for my betterment. I accept that life brings challenges and acknowledge the opportunity and learning they present to me. Serenity comes from within. So, realign with yourself, center yourself. Really, we just finished in 2025 a cycle of 9 years. A lot of lessons were learned there. We don't need to keep on dragging them to 2026. We can open our hands, we can let go. And perhaps in 2026 we can start a new story, right? We also have, and that's where emotional and spiritual maturity come. We can choose to restart the same story. We can go and 9 years more of the same cycle, but you have to be aligned with yourself to decide, is that what you want? Is it worth it? Only you can answer that, right? So there you go. This is your reading. I hope it has helped you in some way. And I wish you such a lovely day ahead and so much love and light for your life. Bye-bye. Hey, welcome. So if you chose pile number 3, let's check if this reconciliation is in the near future, what we can discover about it. And we are going to start by checking the current energy between you. Let's use this oracle and see what comes out. Current energy. So number 3 can already check if it's the right pile for them. What's the energy between those who chose pile number 3 and the person on their mind? Anything else? We have past, there is history, it happened, left behind, looking back. Okay. And let's ask as well for tarot to clarify what's the energy. The energy for those who chose pile number 3. Queen of Cups reversed. The energy for those who chose pile number 3. The 3 of Wands and the 9 of Wands reversed. So when it comes to the energy of disconnection, I think that you or your person, one of you or both, you are emotionally stuck in the past, right? If it's a reconciliation, it is obviously about someone in your past. So we wouldn't have a card restating that. Instead, it shows that the past is not resolved. It shows that we might be living stuck in it. Or maybe that we are revisiting the past with a specific emotional lens, right? And then the cards, they add a layer to it. We have the Queen of Cups reversed, and this is the core, the emotional core of the situation. It shows that there are still emotions, but they are blocked, they are distorted, they are They feel unsafe to be expressed, basically. There's fear of vulnerability. There's probably hurt feelings that are not being expressed. There's emotional withdrawal or self-protection. It's about someone who still feels deeply but doesn't trust those feelings. It's like, I feel, but I can't open up the way I used to. And these Three of Wands is where this looking back, this history feeling is coming from. The Three of Wands is about watching from a distance, right? Waiting to see how something unfolds, thinking about what could happen, planning but not yet taking proper action. And so it seems as someone who is considering reconnection but hasn't acted, someone who is looking towards the future while still anchored on the emotions of the past. This isn't just a card saying that your person is from your past or that there is history between you. That's a given. This is, I'm standing at a distance thinking about whether it's worth moving forward again or not, basically. And then we have the Nine of Wands reversed, and this is huge for reconciliation, right? Because reversed, it speaks about lowered defenses, about exhaustion, about giving up the fight. So in this context, it feels like someone is tired of defending themselves. Someone doesn't want another emotional battle. Someone is close to either opening up or walking away entirely, right? It's really having no more strengths to keep on carrying on. It's about putting those wands down. It's about asking oneself, do I have the energy to try again or not? So what we can see when it comes to the current energy between you, and please take only what resonates with you, is that the past is still emotionally unresolved. There is someone who's watching this connection from a distance and is unsure whether reconciliation is emotionally safe. And they seem to be pretty exhausted from what happened before. So let's, if this resonated with you, let's check their feelings towards you. What are the feelings of these persons towards those who chose pile number 3? We have the thinking woman, which is a bit like the Queen of Swords, I feel. But let's get tarot as well. What can we say? Their feelings towards pile number 3. We have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Ace of Cups reversed. King of Swords. Honestly, I could almost see them as a pair. Oh, we have more. We have the Three of Swords, makes sense. King of Pentacles and the Hanged Man reversed. King of Pentacles also reversed. Just make sure that everything fits in the video, on the screen. So this person is experiencing a mix of caution, hesitation, unresolved emotional pain towards you, basically. The thinking woman, which aligns very much with the Queen of Swords energy, and also the King of Swords, they suggest that their approach is highly mental, observant, protective, self-protective, and they are analyzing the situation carefully and maintaining boundaries rather than acting from their heart. And the two ace, the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups reversed, and who are exactly between both swords energies, indicate blocked opportunities, hesitation to start something new, fear of practical or grounded commitment. It shows also that emotional potential exists, but it is largely suppressed or not yet embraced fully. And their feelings are further complicated by this Three of Swords, which highlights past heartbreak or disappointment that still colors their perspective, which shows also why we got this past. Maybe someone feels left behind, maybe someone is still stuck in the past in whatever happened, right? And the King of Pentacles reversed, it reinforces a fear of responsibility or instability in forming this new connection, right? Or to renew this connection if you prefer. And finally, we finish with the Hanged Man reversed. So this suggests a resistance to pausing, to surrendering, or to seeing the situation from a different perspective. So it shows that old patterns and caution are strongly influencing their approach at the moment. Even if they are exhausted, they are still choosing to protect themselves rather than change. And so altogether, this shows someone who is mentally alert, cautious, emotionally guarded, observing from a distance, aware of this potential connection, but blocked by this past hurt, this fear of commitment. Basically, is someone who is not yet ready to open up fully or to act on their feelings. It seems they are still hurt. The feelings are there, emotion is there, but it's highly guarded, basically. Let's see what else we can see about this connection. What else can we know about this connection? What else can we know about this connection? Yeah, we have guarded, vulnerable, holding patterns, security at all costs, blocked heart chakra. We have distance, time out, retreat, blocked, emotional or physical distance. And we have toxicity, bound, addictions, patterns, energy vampire, trauma bond, stuck. So I think it's someone who is really still stuck in the past and is not being able to get over whatever happened, which could have been in this connection or not, right? Can even be something that happened when they were a kid, when they were a child, and he just never really got, or she never really got to trust again or to be able to fully embrace a committed relationship, right? We don't know sometimes what happens in people's lives. Anything else? We also have the moon with intuition. Anything else? Here, all good. We have the moon with intuition, subconscious emotions, fear, deceit. Things are not as they appear. So exactly, perhaps it's someone who is still stuck in the past and can't see that things are different now because they are still seeing from the same lens from before. So it's all tainted. If the past was dark, then the future will be dark because they are not going through the change to allow themselves to see things differently, right? Things, as people say, things are not what they are how we see them. And it is a bit that at the moment. Let's see if it's a yes or a no, what the cards can tell us with the energy that we have at the moment, and knowing that energy can always change. Okay. we have the masculine, number 42. Let's get tarot as well. Is it a yes or a no? Anything else? We have the Hierophant, the Six of Wands reversed, and the Tower reversed. Okay, short answer. The answer would be maybe, but with major conditions. So we start with the masculine. Think of it as king or emperor, active energy, right? Someone assertive, grounded, representing the masculine archetype in this situation. And it's connected to action, to authority, to someone who takes the lead, right? Together with the Hierophant, which is about tradition and commitment and structure, which often points to the possibility of returning to a formal, to a stable connection. It shows the potential for structured reconciliation, basically, right? Or at the very least, someone taking the initiative. So this is a yes possibility, but in a careful sense rather than a spontaneous burst of emotion, right? And then we have the Six of Wands and the Tower reversed. So here, these are cards about delay in success, pride or ego issues. It shows that victory is not yet assured. This is also about delaying a necessary shakeup or fearing change. Resistance again in facing the truth, right? Trying to keep things safe even when we know it's not right, basically. And together it shows that strong blocks are in your way. Success is delayed, is not fully realized, and pride and ego could prevent reconciliation, right? Fear of upheaval will keep things from truly transforming, and in this case the upheaval seems to be this emotional release, this willingness to open up the heart chakra, and to go through the Hanged Man moment, basically. Overall, it's like, yes, there is potential for reconciliation, especially if it's approached carefully, with maturity, with respect, with awareness of each other's ego and fears. But the reversed Six of Wands and the reversed Tower, they indicate that success is not really guaranteed, and so there may be delays or resistance. It's not a clear-cut yes, that's what I'm trying to say, but it's also not a flat no. It's more like a yes, it's possible if boundaries, if humility, if evolution is embraced, right? But it's a no if old patterns or fears hold sway, basically. Let's get you an advice card, shall we? And I hope this reading has helped you so far a little bit to gain a bit more of clarity. If you did, you can always like or comment. I love that. Let's see what it says. Toxic ties. Detach from relationships that drain your energy. Prioritize self-care. So this is actually a very important point, which is whatever this person is going through, as much as you love them, you have to let them go through it. And sometimes it's darkest before the dawn, right? So they have to go through this evolution, through this transition, through this transformation, basically. Reconnecting with themselves, with their emotions, finding this masculine energy in them so that then they can step up. And then we have one step at a time. I see the mountain ahead and dedicate myself to taking one small step at a time. I make progress by staying focused on the present moment, the current task. Thus, I regain my ease of living. So that's also something which is, don't expect this person to come to come running towards you, right, at full speed. This is something that will take a bit more of time, where progress will be slow, but each step that they take, it does count. You just have to find that balance where you can be there for them but without draining yourself. You can wait but without watch your life go by, right, without staying stuck in the present because they are stuck in the past, basically. So if you chose pile number 3, I hope this has helped you. I hope it has helped you gain a bit more of clarity. I wish you lots of love and light, and hopefully I'll see you in some other video. Bye bye.